From the stories you want to the answers you need, this is Answer the Coll, part of the Sports Nuts Network. Also, we would like to say a huge thank you and welcome to our international audience and community. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate you being part of the show. We have a great show lined up for everyone today, from March Madness to news around the NFL and some interesting stories around the corner on the Coll Report. You don't want to miss your favorite segment and mine, the Call of Fame, Call of Shame, later in the show. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Answer the Coll.
And pressure again. And as he throws it, locked up. Stops. Launches deep. Jalen Guyton. He's got it. Touchdown, Chargers.
Take the hand out. This is good. Williams to the end zone.
Touchdown, Chargers. Dan Henley got the ball. Dan Henley. First interception in his career. Throws. Sure. Knocked it out. A touchdown. Jack Sawyer. Headed down the sidelines.
If you want to talk ball, I will answer the call. Is it great to talk about sports on a Monday or what? Let me tell you guys, hope everyone had a great Easter. I know I sure did. Ate lots of food. Watched my little nephew scramble around for the Easter eggs. So it was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a great Easter. I'm glad I'm back in the swing of things, and let's get this week started right with a little Answer the Coll. So as I mentioned just moments ago, great show lined up for everyone. It's a Monday, and you know what that means. That's right. The new growing segment here at Answer the Coll, the Coll Log, our fan Q&A segment, where you dial up the questions and I'll answer them. Last week, I made the Call of Fame shame segment the last call, but today the Coll Log will be the last call. Don't worry, though. The Call of Fame, Call of Shame will still be a part of today's show. Guys, it is Monday, April 6th. Tonight, it's the national championship in college basketball. Holy cow. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Like, who do you think is going to win and why? So we have a great show lined up today. Real quick, if you're enjoying the show, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment your favorite take or segment. If you're watching on Facebook or X, like, follow, and share with someone that loves sports as much as you. Thank you for making this show what it is today, guys. With that said, let's get into it, and it's time for the first call, which is the Coll Report, bringing you the news around the world of sports. No story is too big, no story is too small for the Coll Report. Guys, breaking news in the NFL moments ago, right before the show. I wasn't even going to, I didn't have it in my notes, obviously, because it literally just happened. I was out town getting a drink real quick, and I got to tell you, breaking news in the NFL, and that is Dexter Lawrence of the New York Giants has requested a trade. I don't know why. He said he's not going to participate in the OTAs this offseason. He's requesting a trade. I don't know why, because they were talking about trading Thibodeau, and, that would kind of free up that defensive line. And he's a defensive tackle, not an edge rusher. So they were trying to make room so that all their star players could play at the same time. But now Dexter Lawrence is wanting out. So I don't know what's going on here, guys. Like, why is Dexter Lawrence not wanting to be a Giant? Is it a head coach issue? Is it just because he doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts, because I don't have the answers right now. Like I said, literally probably like 20, 30 minutes ago, this news broke. So maybe if it happens as the show goes on today, we can talk about it here. But as of right now, we don't have any information other than he doesn't want to be there. He's not going to participate in OTAs. He wants out. So guys, He has requested a trade, and we'll have to see if he gets it or if the Giants are like, no, you're going to be a part of this team. So at the end of the day, it's only going to hurt him. It can only hurt him. We also have breaking news in the WNBA. Yeah, that's right. The WNBA. A little over an hour before the show, Angel Reese traded from the Chicago Sky to the Atlanta Dream. This is stemmed from what Angel said about her teammates in 2025. She basically said herself and one other teammate would be the only two left on that team, and they didn't like that very well. The Atlanta Dream are giving up 2027 first and a 2028 first for Reese, and they will also receive 2028 second round swap rights. So if the Chicago Sky has a higher second round pick in 2028, the Dream can swap with them. So Angel Reese is headed from Chicago to the Atlanta team, and that's right out of the gate. WNBA is their free agency is just starting up. So, and already a blockbuster trade on, just moments probably into the WNBA offseason. So we're going to have to monitor that, guys, because those are the details. But I mean, and I told you that it stems from an earlier comment that Angel Reese said. But other than that, I don't have a whole lot on that. So we're going to keep rolling, though, guys. We're going to keep rolling because lots to talk about in the Coll Report. We have the Call of Fame, Call of Shame. We have the Coll Log at the end of the show. So stay tuned for all that. All right. Here at Answer the Coll, probably every sports show in America, around the world, has often said college sports needs structure. They need structure. Well, President Donald Trump is signing an executive order that aims to limit NCAA athletes to only 5 years, one transfer. I'm all for this. With rules like this, college sports can be just what it's supposed to be, college and not pro. This will bring some structure back to college sports so we don't see players changing teams at the snap of a finger. Let me know your thoughts on this. So I don't know if he can do this or not. Like, I don't know if that's, because it's not really a federal issue. And so I really want to know what's going to happen here. Like, can he do this, or is it going to go to like a federal judge and the federal judge is going to say, no, you can't do that. So we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. But as of right now, he is planning to sign an executive order that is going to bring some structure to college sports. And if it's not him, somebody needs to do it, So I got my morning cup of coffee. It's at mid-afternoon, actually. It's just right afternoon here in the Midwest and in good old Fayetteville. What's your go-to while you're watching a show? Soda, coffee, tea, water, Gatorade? I'd love to hear it, guys. Jags gave Trayvon Walker a massive extension, 4-year, $100 million with $77 million guaranteed and $50 million fully guaranteed at signing. The Jags better hope he doesn't get hurt because they paid him a good chunk of his salary up front, half of his salary, and a portion of his guaranteed was already paid up front. So they better hope that he doesn't get hurt this season. The Browns may trade the 6th overall pick. What? Like, I get it. I mean, you need all the help you can get, right? But I mean, are you trying to tank for a quarterback next season? Or are you just trying to stockpile extra first round picks this year? Because I mean, okay, so Mendoza 1, Reese / Bailey at 2, one of those two. You probably figure Cardinals will either trade back and somebody's going to take Jeremiah Love at 3, or maybe Cardinals stay and they take whoever's left between Bailey and Reese. Then you got the Titans, who will most likely take Jeremiah Love at 4. We'll say Carnell Tate or Sonny Styles to the Giants at 5. And so why are you trying to do this? Like, I mean, you're still going to have a great amount of talent there, but like I said, maybe they're just trying to get more. Maybe they're trying to tank without it being so obvious. Everyone's favorite segment, Call of Fame, Call of Shame is still to come. Plus, March Madness is coming right around the corner, so stay tuned for that, guys. In the NBA, Luka will miss the remainder of the regular season, and his status is uncertain for the playoffs. I wonder how much impact this will have on the Lakers the rest of the season. How far can they go in the playoffs without Luka? I have a very special guest joining me Thursday that might be able to help answer some of these questions. So definitely want to tune in at noon p.m. Central Time on Thursday because I have a special guest. He worked alongside Trey Biddy at Hog Sports. I have Tyler Davis. He was a quarterfinalist in America's Got Talent. So Tyler Davis is coming on the show. He's a big Lakers fan. His NBA knowledge, I have been told, can match just about anybody's. So we'll be covering some Hog Sports, Lakers, and obviously I want to ask him some of these questions that I just brought up right here, right now. So without further ado, we're going to keep rolling though. The Steelers were interested in Cousins before he signed with the Raiders. This is why you don't wait. This is why you don't put all your eggs in a basket. If I was the Steelers front office, I would have told Rodgers we need a decision by the start of free agency. This is a classic case of putting all your eggs in one basket, the Rodgers basket. And what happens now if Rodgers decides he's hanging it up? Now they don't have a quarterback. Now they're probably going to have to trade up and reach for Ty Simpson. I mean, unless you believe in Will Howard, or you trade up for Ty Simpson, which would be a bad move in year number one. Ty Simpson's not ready to be a starter in year number one. He needs to sit behind a veteran, just like Mendoza needs to sit behind a veteran. I know he's the first overall pick, but he needs to sit behind a veteran. So they put all their eggs in the basket. They're hoping and praying and just living on a dream that Rodgers is like, hey, I want to come play ball for you guys one more season. And then, but if he doesn't, they're going to be scrambling for a quarterback because they didn't sign Cousins. They haven't made any moves for other quarterbacks. So this could be a very bad year one for Mike McCarthy in Pittsburgh, guys. I'm not a fan of that. Moving right along. Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, want the Spain game. KC is making an aggressive push to be Falcons' opponent in Madrid. This is interesting. I wonder what made them want to play the Falcons. Is it just, exposure in another country? Is it they just want to really show everybody what they can do this season? So I don't know, guys, but the Chiefs want the Spain game, and they want it against the Falcons. So let's keep an eye on that to make sure, are they going to get it or no? And to wrap this up, Stephon Gilmore retires from the NFL. What a career this man had. Former top 10 pick. He played 13 seasons in the NFL. Here's his stats and accomplishments along the way. 617 tackles, 1 sack, 7 forced fumbles, 3 fumbles recovered, 149 deflections, 32 interceptions, 2 defensive touchdowns, Super Bowl champ, NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 2019, 2-time first team All-Pro 2018 and 2019, 5-time Pro Bowler, NFL interceptions co-leader in 2019, New England Patriots all 2010s team, New England Patriots all dynasty team, definitely a future Hall of Famer in my book. What do you guys think, though? What do you guys think about this? Because this is really interesting. He had a great career and one that, he can definitely be proud of and one to hang the hat on for sure. But I mean, we always talk about this when players announce their retirement. Are they Hall of Fame worthy? I think the guy is, but that's going to wrap up the Coll Report. We are going to switch gears just a bit talk some March Madness. But before we get into that, just a quick reminder. We still have the call log at the end of the show. Your favorite, you still have time to get questions in. Your favorite segment in mind, the Call of Fame, Call of Shame is coming up around the corner. And if I don't get to your questions today, I will get to them on the next episode. I have them bookmarked, checkmarked, put in order how I was going to answer them. So if I don't get to them today, I will get to them on the next show. So, but keep them coming, guys. I love these little fan questions, this little fan segment that we're doing here. All right, March Madness. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So if you guys remember, I posted kind of as a joke. All right. It was because it was right after Arizona smashed my home state of Arkansas, just absolutely smashed them. And I made a video, and it actually came from the last episode, the last show I made, and it was like, hey, is Arizona the most dominant team we've seen in the tournament? Got some interesting comments on the social medias, but I want to tell you that it was meant as a joke, and a lot of people took it to the extremes. And they said, Michigan, you're counting out Michigan. I didn't count it out anybody. I was just going off of what I saw in that one game that Arizona, not just a one game, but, they just came off of that big game. So we get to the Final Four, and it is Arizona versus Michigan. We saw absolute domination by the Michigan Wolverines. Just in a matter of moments, it was already 18-5 Michigan. I remember I was texting my buddy John at the Pitch Grid Pod, and I was like, wow, this is not a game at all right now. And I was working on some notes, for the show and going over some material. And I look up and I'm like, okay, they're kind of in this. I think at one point it was 48-43. And I was like, okay, now this is the game. All right, this is going to be fun. And I no sooner than looked down for a few minutes, I may have went and got a drink, and I came back, and the score, they're back up double digits, just foot on the gas. So I thought it was going to be a great game, guys. I thought it was going to be a great game, and that was never the case. Michigan won 91-73. Arizona never stood a chance. Their shots just couldn't find the bucket, it seemed. In comparison, it seemed that the Wildcats were trying to shoot the ball into a coffee mug because they were not making anything, and the Wolverines were making everything, and it seemed like their bucket was the size of a Great Lake up in Michigan. So two different size basketball goals. It seemed like that's not the case, but Michigan just put a thumping on them, and they're going to the national title game against UConn, who beat Illinois 71-62, advancing to their third national championship in 4 years. Can we say dynasty? Can we say UConn is a dynasty? Who wins the national championship tonight, guys? That's the burning question right now. Is who's going to win the national championship tonight? Is it going to be Michigan? Is it going to be UConn? I heard that there's players from both teams that are banged up. So, but I want to know, guys, drop your thoughts. Let me know. And is Michigan going to win, or can UConn pull off one more upset? So we have the national title game in the women's college. I mean, I'm going to actually get to that outcome later in the show, maybe a Call of Fame worthy candidate. So now it's time for your favorite segment and mine, the Call of Fame, Call of Shame, where we take time to recognize the good or the bad from players, coaches, media, and the sports world. If you have a moment of excellence, we will acknowledge it. If you have something you feel that should make the show, then reach out on any of the social media platforms or email me at answerthecoll@gmail.com. That is Answer the Coll, COLL. And just to, for an easier reference, just think of spelling the last name Collins, which is my last name. Coll, Coll. So answer the call at gmail.com. Send me a clip or a description of your nominee. At the end of the year, top 5, 10 will be put up, and you, the fans, can vote on your favorite. We're going to get started with the only shame I have in this segment, guys, and that is Dennis Schroeder fouls Kobe Buffkin with a drop kick. I mean, I'm talking he's over here acting like he's real life Street Fighter Kung Fu Panda, and he drop kicks Kobe Buffkin. If you don't know, just type it in Dennis Schroeder foul or something. I'm sure you'll get thousands of videos. But so he goes airborne and his leg is bent, and then all of a sudden, last minute, he full extends his leg right into Buffkin. So that is a call of shame. Call of Fame, though, like I said, that was the only call of shame I saw. Let me know if you guys have any that is worthy of just that. But call of shame is the only one. Jeremy Fears Jr., most assists in NCAA tournament in Michigan State history with 16. He passes Magic Johnson, who had 14. 16 assists in the tournament, most in Michigan State history, passing Magic Johnson. That's great company to be in. I don't care who you are. All right, moving right along, we have Alex Ovechkin, 1,000 career goals. He scored 1,000 career goals, joining only the great Wayne Gretzky to accomplish this feat. This one happened a few weeks back, but I wanted to mention it. I slipped up on this one, and I apologize, but I saw it, and I was like, I want to talk about this. Now, those that don't know, like myself until just probably a week or so ago, goals and points can be different. Points can be achieved by scoring or an assist. Goals is just when you make it yourself. There's another hockey one. Gabe. Yep. We're gonna look this up real quick because I had his name, but then I kind of forgot the pronunciation. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I had it, and then okay, so that's not of any help. It's Perreault. If you guys know how to pronounce that, let me know. I do apologize for not knowing that. But anyway, he is he plays on the New York Rangers. First career hat trick. He got the first career hat trick, accomplished this in only his 49th career game. First rookie, New York Ranger rookie to get a hat trick since 2013. So Call of Fame to Mr. Gabe. And we're gonna work on that name because I had it and then I lost it. So Darius Acuff. Darius Acuff is point guard of the year, Call of Fame. Whoop whoop. Well on his way to the NBA, probably a top 5, top 10 draft pick. He just signed with Reebok. So all right, Maria Jose Marin, or Majo, becomes the first Razorback to win the ANWA, the Augusta National Women's Amateur. She had the lowest in ANWA history at -14, 14 under par. Only golfer in the field with 3 rounds in the 60s. Like I said, first Razorback, SEC, and first Colombian to win ANWA. So Maria, good job. Congratulations. She won the Clemson Invitational last week. So she is putting together, and last season, so in a 365-day span, she's NCAA champion, and then she wins the ANWA. So she is well on her way to a great career in women's golf. So Maria, keep it up. Keep up the great job, and way to represent Arkansas. Detroit Pistons clinch number 1 seed for the first time in almost 20 years. Last time they did was the 2006-2007 season. Detroit Pistons are your number 1 seed, guys. That is phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. All right. I mentioned it real quick earlier. UCLA women's basketball wins their first national championship in program history in dominating fashion. If you didn't watch that game yesterday, well, nothing against the women's, but you didn't miss much because it was just a one-sided game. You thought that Michigan, Arizona was one-sided? This one was even worse than that. I mean, UCLA just had their foot on the gas the whole way. They win in dominating fashion. So kudos to the UCLA women's Bruins for winning the national championship for the first time in program history, guys. And we have one more great Call of Fame. And I know our guest, Tyler, if he's listening, our guest on Thursday, Tyler, if you're listening, we got a little LeBron James in the mix. Cooper Flagg and LeBron James make history. First time ever a teenager and player over 40 scored 20-plus points in the same game. Flagg is the first rookie to score over 40 points against LeBron, so he probably doesn't like hearing that, but he's the first rookie to score over 40 points against LeBron James. That is a great accomplishment. Flagg also has the most 40-point games by a teenager. Flagg has scored 96 points in the last 2 games. He also joins Allen Iverson as the last rookie to score back-to-back 40-plus point games. Wow. That has to be, like, that's got to be close to a top 10 at the end of the year, right? Because that right there is the definition of a Call of Fame. I mean, it wasn't just one little stat. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 different stats right there that I talked about Cooper Flagg and what I thought he did this past weekend. So great job, Cooper Flagg. Already off to a great season. Probably going to win Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. But we have some interesting questions coming up, guys. And it's some of these are a doozy. I'm not going to lie to you. Some of these are a doozy because they are your questions that you have asked me. You dialed them up. Now I'm answering. This is the Coll Log. This is the Coll Log, guys. Fan questions. And as you can see on the lovely little slide there, we have a great little set here. I think there's like 5 or 6 questions all in total. Guys, if I didn't get to them, I will get to them next week. I had a few extras. If I have time, I will run through some of those that I didn't get to, but I do have a few lined up here. So we have fourth and gold, GOAL''D. Of the remaining free agents, is there one that you would like the Chargers to sign? It's a 2-part question, so I'm going to answer it in 2 parts. So I'm not sure if there is a free agent that I think the team should sign. I was looking at the remaining ones, and the top one is Jawan Jennings as the 42nd of the 101. I mean, sure, I guess he could add some depth, but I just think that no. I mean, maybe DJ Reader for the veteran presence, and he's a great run stopper, so on short yardage situations, he's not a pass rusher, so you would quite literally on 3rd and 1. But then I feel like teams would start to kind of start figuring you out a little bit, and they would be like, well, okay, DJ Reader's in. Maybe we can sneak it, like a little quick screen pass or something like that. So definitely pros and cons to having just a run stopper, but maybe DJ Reader would be my only option. Now the second part of the question is, who would your ideal first round pick be for the Chargers at 22? Now, for my ideal pick, that is a bit tough because the team definitely needs O-line, but I also think we can get that in round 2 and 3. And you don't want to draft another rookie first round offensive lineman. I mean, it's not the worst thing out there, but you would really need like somebody like Vega Ionye, which I don't see him fall into 22, which is really crazy because maybe I'm overthinking this, because in my book, I'm thinking like, the Dolphins at 11 could take Vega, the Cowboys at 12, maybe the Lions trade up for a guard slash, a powerful guard, but Vega Ionye would come to mind. Another one that would come to mind if he falls that far would be Spencer Fanu, the tackle guard combo that can also play center. That one would kind of be cool, but man, I kind of see maybe the Lions trading up for, either Vega or Spencer Fanu. So those would probably be, but I still think that so if those two aren't available, probably would go just wait till the 2nd, 3rd round for offensive line. I'd be really happy with a defensive tackle like Peter Woods. I know I was just talking about DJ Reader, but if I'm drafting a defensive lineman, I think Peter Woods would come in and just clog up some lanes, and I think he could step in and be impactful, have an impact on the Chargers team right away. So really good question there. Also, another candidate would be linebacker CJ Allen. I feel like he's getting overlooked a little bit. Everybody's talking about Sonny Styles for good reason, but I just think that some people are they're kind of sleeping on CJ Allen, and I think that would be a solid pick, help shore up that front 7 for the Chargers. So great question from our friends across the pond. They were actually on a show before I took the break. But they are 4th and Gold. Great guys. Go check them out. That was their question. Sports Testimony over on Instagram. He also has TikTok. He probably has YouTube and Facebook and all that, but from Instagram, he sends in the question of best basketball team to enter March Madness. And no, don't worry, I'm not gonna say the Arizona Wildcats. I can't, because they got dominated. So they got their butts whooped in the Final Four against Michigan. But this is a really good one, because this is before my time, but this is before my time. The 1971-72 Bruins, who finished 30-0 and beat their opponents by an average of 30.3 points. That's obviously one that comes to mind if you know basketball. If you're, if you know stats and history and stuff like that. I mean, that, and if you are, from that era, that probably only team to win every game by double digits in a season. So, that's pretty dominating if you ask me. Another great one is the 1995-96 Kentucky team led by Rick Pitino and was known as the Untouchables, who went 34-2 and won their tournament games by an average of 21.5 points. That's pretty dominating. So that's another great one right there that comes to mind. Now, I will give you a more recent one. A more recent one, though, and let you decide where they should be ranked. And that's the 2023-24 UConn Huskies, finishing with a 37-3 record and winning their 6 tournament games by a record-breaking 140 points. That's 23.3 points per game. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Sports testimony, great question, my man. Thank you for asking. Thank you for testing me and making me really step outside my comfort zone and answer a basketball question. To those that are new to the show, I used to only talk football, college and NFL, fantasy football, the whole 9 yards there. But I'm starting to branch out a little bit. I'm trying to cover a little hockey. I'm trying to talk a little basketball. I'm trying to get back into baseball, guys. So Answer the Coll is trying to broaden the horizon and broaden the content for you guys. And great question, making me answer a basketball question that made me really think about this and do my homework. So, guys, we still have time. You can get your questions, send them in the comment section. And if I have time at the end of the show, I will answer them. We still have time, guys. So keep them coming. Real quick, like I said, if you're enjoying the show, please like, subscribe to the channel, comment what your favorite segment or take has been today. If you're on Facebook, X, simply follow, share with everybody, and I will continue to answer the call. So thank you guys for making the show what it is today. I could not do this without you guys. My good buddy, John from the Pitch Grid Pod, and I'm going to make sure I say it right this time. Pitch Grid Pod. I'm not going to struggle like I did a few weeks back. So what's your favorite quarterback, running back, wide receiver trio of all time? If I'm allowed to use tight ends, I'm obviously going to say Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Antonio Gates. If I'm only allowed to keep it as a receiver, then Peyton Manning, Edgerrin James, and Marvin Harrison. Reggie Wayne. So, honorable mention, Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown. I know there's so many great ones I left off, but he did say favorite. So, I want to hear your guys's. What is your favorite quarterback, running back, wide receiver trio? Is it someone from the 49ers like Montana Rice and that company? Or is it somebody else? Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman? Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and that other fella. Michael Irvin. I know. I was only teasing, guys. I was only teasing. I remember who it was. It was, but who is your favorite trio? I gave you mine and I gave you an alternate. So I would love to hear your guys's. Keep the questions coming though, guys. We still have a little bit of time here. The Three Guys, Six Balls podcast. Three Guys, Six Balls. Joel, Will, and Avery. They want to know, what's your early Super Bowl prediction? I don't normally do early Super Bowl predictions. Like, I don't normally do one until after the draft, and that's okay. They brought it to me a little bit ahead of the draft. I'll go ahead and answer it, but I'll probably, might change mine after the draft. But as of April 6th, 2026, my Super Bowl favorite is, well, I think based on the moves we've seen to acquire veteran talent and giving up late first round picks, I'm going to say Rams versus Broncos. Now, I will say I am very confident a team from the AFC West will be in, even if it's not the Broncos. Yes, I'm saying it. The Chiefs can make it. The Chargers can make it. And maybe, just maybe, the Raiders can make it. Okay, I can't say that one. But I am confident a AFC West, and an AFC West team will. So good question there. But I think it's going to be Rams versus Broncos. Rams versus Broncos. A sleeper could also be the 49ers with the offensive firepower they added. Mike Evans, Christian Kirk. They go get one or two pieces in the draft, and who knows what they can do. So great question there from Three Guys, Six Balls podcast. And moving right along, we have just a couple more questions. And so I may go ahead and try to go ahead and answer a few more before the end of the show, guys. So we have time. You have time to get your questions in if you want them answered and you want to shout out here live on the show, then please submit them. Okay. So we have the High Society Fantasy. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. This is about to get spicy because High Society Fantasy wants to know some quarterback rankings. Oh, you guys in these quarterback rankings killing me here. Now, I love it. I love it. I really do. I love it. So keep them coming. Now, just for clarity purposes, I want to he says, how would you rank these quarterbacks? The quarterbacks that he mentioned, these are the quarterbacks that he presented. So I didn't leave anybody off, to cause controversy. This is simply the names that he presented to me, and I have to rank them. He gave me Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, John Elway, Dan Marino. Yeah. So this is quarterback. And when I think quarterback play, not team awards. So with that said, we're going to start at 5 and work our way to 1 to build a little suspense here, guys. Real quick, who do you think is my number 5 quarterback? John Elway. I'm putting John Elway at number 5. Not taking anything away from the man. Great quarterback. He had a great career. But I just, on this list, I have him at 5. At number 4, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is my 4th ranked quarterback on this list. He's great. He is really great. But right now, as it stands, I want to see him in the further years of his, NFL career. But as it stands on this particular list, he's 4th. So number 3 is Peyton Manning. I mean, arguably one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. Real mastermind, knew the game, knew how to manipulate defenses. His famous Omaha, which we later learned was just flip the play one side or the other. And he said Omaha like 43 times in one game, I think it was. So that's a lot of Omahas. Omaha. But Omaha Peyton Manning is number 3. And I'm sticking to that. I'm not audible and out of it. You can't make me audible out of it. So that is number 3. Number 2 is Dan Marino. Arguably the greatest quarterback to never win a Super Bowl. So Dan Marino is number 2. I think he had a great career. He really set the bar for what a quarterback should do, how a quarterback should play. Stat-wise, right up there with the best of them. And my number 1 is Drew Brees. He overcame so much. Height, a team that gave up on him. My team gave up on him. I remember in 2001 when LaDainian Tomlinson was the 5th overall pick and Drew Brees was the 2nd round pick for the then San Diego Chargers. And that's when I became a fan, of course. But I just remember, then in 2004, they draft Phillip Rivers. And then, of course, shortly after that, he gets hurt. And at the time, I understand. At the time, it was a career-ending injury. So this happened, and he gets hurt, and the Chargers don't want him. They don't bring him back. And he goes and becomes a legend in New Orleans with Sean Payton. Greatest short quarterback ever to play the game. One of the greatest quarterbacks to play the game. He's one of my all-time favorite quarterbacks to this day. Watching what he could do. He had enough arm strength to get it down the field, but he really beat you with his precision accuracy. Multiple 5,000-yard seasons. I think, like 4 or 5 seasons of 5,000 yards, and if it wasn't for Brady playing for as long as he did, the fact that Brady was able to play for as long as he did, we would still see Drew Brees hold those records today. I feel like. So got to be Drew Brees as my number 1 quarterback. Thank you, High Society Fantasy, for that awesome question. And we have a few more. If you guys want to get them in, let me know, guys. Let me know. We have High Society Fantasy on another one. He commented, I did the post on Friday. That's when so Fridays is the day you want to really submit the questions, because those are the top priority. Whoever answers on the social medias on Friday, that is when I start based off of the order I see them. So if you're first on the first day, you're getting jotted down first. If you're on the second day, you'll get jotted down. This weekend, with it being Easter, I didn't do an Easter post, but I give plenty of opportunity to submit the questions because I want to answer all these questions. I love answering these questions. They're fun. It's a fun little segment. So on Fridays, be on the lookout. Answer the call on all the social medias. Get your questions in. Submit them. I will answer them here live. I will shout you out, and I will answer them. And so we're going to go back to High Society Fantasy. He commented on the day 2. Breaking news in college basketball: UNC to hire Mike Malone, former Nuggets head coach and 2023 NBA champ, to take over iconic men's basketball program. Breaking news right here at 12:57 p.m. Central Time, April the 6th. Breaking news in college basketball: Mike Malone is the new Tar Heels head coach. So, High Society Fantasy commented day 2. Who finishes the year with more rushes and rushing touchdowns? DeAndre Swift or Kyle Managa? I got to say Kyle Managa. Because he looks like he's that running back. He's obviously the bruiser. So right there, goal line situation, I think instantly he's going to be in year 2 in Ben Johnson's system. He knows the system. I think we're going to see kind of DeAndre Swift is going to be used more like for passing downs and change of pace. I think it's going to be Kyle's job, though. I think he's going to have more rushing yards and more rushing touchdowns. High Society Fantasy over on Instagram. Thank you. I appreciate the question, my man. I thought I was going to get it next week, but we had a little bit of time, so we're going to go ahead and answer it today. And the the Pitch Grid Pod. John, my man, coming in clutch on day 2 of the post. Who goes from first to worst and worst to first this NFL season? Okay, so worst to first. I mean, one that comes to mind, Tennessee Titans. I mean, we've been talking about them all offseason. They could be this year's New England Patriots. A team that went from first to last. And it's crazy to think, but the Seattle Seahawks. I know that they just won the championship, but they also lost a lot of key players. They have the 32nd pick in the draft. They only have four picks in this year's draft. You lost your offensive coordinator. That right there is key. You lost your offensive coordinator. You lost Clint Kubiak to the Raiders. You lost some other personnel. You can't tell me that part of Sam Darnold's success wasn't because of Clint Kubiak. We all know who Sam Darnold is. We know who he is, okay? He is who we think he is, all right? And I just think that he isn't going to be as productive. They lost Kim Walker, and so they lost some of their defensive pieces. And I'm just not sold on it, guys. I'm not sold on the fact that they did enough to come back. So, John, first to last is the Seattle Seahawks. Last to first, the Tennessee Titans. So, great question, my man. Great question. And we have one more. We have one more here, guys, and then that's going to wrap up today's show. My better half, my biggest fan, my biggest supporter, my wife, she actually commented on one of my posts and, brought the question. So I wanted to get this one in because it was a really good one, I thought. Not because of who was asking, but because of the question itself. Here lately, I've had a few guests on the show. We just had Dan Scott last week. We've had Marcus Mack from Chicago Sports Radio. Of course, we got Tyler Davis, who worked alongside Trey Biddy at Hog Sports, coming on Thursday. And so we've had John from Pitch Grid Pod. We've had some good guests. We've had, Ralph Williams on the show. As a matter of fact, we're going to run through this real quick. I'm going to tell you the names, and you'll understand why I wanted to answer this particular question, because we've got some really good guests already. And I, I'm so thankful, and I appreciate Brandon kind of taking me under his wing to really help me out and give me advice and give me pointers. So guests that have been on the show, the return show, John, Pitch Grid Pod. The next week, Joel Norris, Pigskin Frenzy. So we had Pitch Grid Pod, Pigskin Frenzy. We had our friend Ben Rodriguez from Inside the Locker Room, NFL Playmakers over on Instagram. We had Ralph Williams. We had Will Ritchie, PA announcer from Hamburg, Arkansas. And I just lost my list because my computer hates me. That's okay, though. That's okay. So we had Will Ritchie. We had Marcus Mack, Chicago Sports, and we had Dan Scott. And like I said, we have Tyler coming on the show on Thursday. So we've had quite a bit of good guests here since we've come back. And so the question is, what would your dream interview collaboration be? Player, coach, broadcaster, etc. I think the broadcaster would have to be Joe Tessitore. Joe Tessitore would have to be like one that I would want to interview, sit down with. He covers SEC football, and to all the wrestling fans out there, he is the voice of Friday nights on SmackDown. I love his energy and the passion he brings. I hope someday people will be saying that about myself. Like, oh man, he brings the passion, he brings the energy. So I guess you could say I try to model myself a little bit after him because I want to be known for my passion and my energy for what I'm covering. I hope some, I have to be honest. I have to be honest. Pat McAfee would be the absolute top of my list, though. Absolute top. To sit down with someone of his excitement and electricity would make for a great segment. Let's make it happen, guys. Pat McAfee on Answer the Call. Let's make this happen. Let's make it happen. Player definitely has to be LaDainian Tomlinson, my favorite player all time. Reason I'm a Chargers fan. Reason for some of the heartache that I've had in my life, but all in all seriousness, LaDainian Tomlinson, he was a great player, and he never really celebrated. He just kind of flipped the ball, like, here, I scored, whatever. It wasn't about me. It was about my team. I love that mentality. I will say, Phillip Rivers, an interview with Phillip Rivers would be fun. Just the dag nabbits and, and just all the alternate cuss words that he said, all the alternates that he uses for cuss words. I think that would be a lot of fun. Fan side coming out here, but as far as coach, I think it would be a great experience to interview Jim Harbaugh. I mean, just listen to him in the press conferences is amazing, and just hearing his knowledge of the game. So, bonus one, I would love to interview or do a collaboration with Colin Cowherd at the Herd. He is actually how I came up with the name of my show. His is the Herd. I wanted to implement my name in the show like he did, but couldn't figure out how. I was almost sold on the call when my phone rang and it clicked. Answer the Call would be the name. So Joe Tessitore, Pat McAfee, LaDainian Tomlinson, Phillip Rivers, and Colin Cowherd would definitely be up there. Guys, if there's any that you want me to collab with, a guest to bring on the show, let me know. I'll reach out to them. I'll try to make it happen. But we definitely need to make Pat McAfee, Joe Tessitore happen here at Answer the Call. So, well, I don't see any more questions. So that is going to wrap up the Coll Log here this week, guys. Wow, what a show that was. That was a great one. That was a great show, guys. If you missed it, definitely go back, tune in, listen. Be on the lookout this Friday for the Coll Log post on all social medias. Thursday, noon p.m. Central Time. Tyler Davis from Hog Sports. He sat right beside Trey Biddy. His knowledge in basketball is really great. He knows a lot about Hog Sports as well. He's joining the show. We're going to be talking some Hog Sports, Lakers basketball, and a lot more. So tune in for that. However you may have watched or however you may have listened, thank you for making this show part of your day. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and tap the bell to answer the call. If you're listening on Spotify, leave a rating and share it with someone who loves the game as much as you do. It helps the channel tremendously. You can also find me Facebook and all other social media platforms for short clips and different posts to engage in. I'm Tim Collins. I'll see you the next time. And remember, talk ball with Answer the Call. Have a great day, guys.